American Megatrends Incorporated, AMI, is an American hardware and software company that specializes in PC hardware and firmware. The company was founded in 1985 by Pat Sarma and Subramonian Shankar, who was chairman and president as of 2011. It is headquartered in Building 200 at 5555 Oakbrook Parkway in Gwinnett County, Georgia, United States, near the city of Norcross. The company started as a manufacturer of complete motherboards, positioning itself in the high-end segment. Its first customer was PCs Ltd, later known as Dell Computers, making one of the first Intel 80386 designs. As hardware business moved progressively to Taiwan-based original design manufacturers, AMI continued to be a BIOS firmware developer for major motherboard manufacturers. The company produced BIOS software for motherboards, server motherboards, 1992, storage controllers, 1995, and remote management cards, 1998. In 1993, AMI produced MegaRAID, a storage controller card which was adopted by major OEMs including HP and Dell. The RAID division assets were sold to LSI Logic in 2001. As of 2011, AMI continued to focus on OEM business and technology. Its product line includes AMIBIOS, a BIOS, Aptio, a successor to AMIBIOS 8 based on the UEFI standard, diagnostic software, remote access firmware, motherboards, SGPIO backplane controllers, driver, firmware development, service processors, in-NAS and SAN storage systems for SMBs, and solutions for the Android operating system. Products: AMIBIOS. AMIBIOS, also written as AMIBIOS, is the IBM PC-compatible BIOS developed and sold by American Megatrends. As of 1994, the company claimed that 75% of PC clones use the AMIBIOS. It is used on motherboards made by AMI and by other companies. American Megatrends has a strict OEM business model for AMIBIOS. It sells source code to motherboard manufacturers or customizes AMIBIOS for each OEM individually, whichever business model they require. AMI does not sell to end users, and itself produces no end-user documentation or technical support for its BIOS firmware, leaving that to licensees. However, the company published 2 books on its BIOS in 1993 and 1994, listed in further reading, written by its engineers. During power-up, the BIOS firmware displays an ID string in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. This ID string comprises various pieces of information about the firmware, including when it was compiled, what configuration options were selected, the OEM license code, and the targeted chipset and motherboard. There are 3 ID string formats. The first for older AMIBIOS, and the second and third for the newer AMI High Flexibility BIOS. These latter are displayed when the insert key is pressed during power-on self-test. The original AMI BIOS did not encrypt the machine startup password, which is stored in non-volatile RAM. Therefore, any utility capable of reading a PC's NVRAM was able to read and to alter the password. The AMI WinBIOS encrypts the stored password, using a simple substitution cipher. By pressing the delete key during power-on self-test when a prompt is displayed, the BIOS setup utility program is invoked. Some earlier AMIBIOS versions also included a cut-down version of the AMIDIAG utility that AMI also sold separately, but most later AMI BIOSes do not include this program as the BIOS DMI already incorporates detailed diagnostics. AMIBIOS is only sold through distributors, not directly to end users. Firmware upgrades and replacements are only available from AMI for its own motherboards. Upgrades and replacements for AMIBIOS customized for a motherboard are only available from the manufacturer from eSupport. AMI supplies both DOS and Win32 firmware upgrade utilities for its own motherboards. eSupport only supplies a Win32 upgrade utility. AMIBIOS. AMIBIOS is a family of PC diagnostic utilities sold to OEMs only. The AMIBIOS suite was introduced in 1991 and made available for MS-DOS, Microsoft Windows and Unified Extensible Firmware Interface (UEFI) platforms. It includes both the Windows and DOS PC diagnostics programs. Later versions of AMIBIOS support UEFI, which allows diagnostics to be performed directly on the hardware components, without having to use operating system drivers or facilities. Store Trends, Manager Trends. The Store Trends family of network-based backup and storage management software and hardware includes several NAS and ISCSI-based SAN servers with 4, 12, or 16 drive bays. AMI couples off-the-shelf hardware with the Store Trends ITX storage management firmware platform. Store Trends offers synchronous, asynchronous and snap-assisted replication, thin provisioning, high availability grouping and advanced caching. Reliability and performance is the key for any storage server. Store Trends ITX 2.8 is designed to support storage bridge bay specification that provide auto failover capability to ensure that any interruption is handled without affecting data. It supports high availability cluster redundancy, scalability, replication, disaster recovery and multiple site backups. DuosM. DuosM is commercial software developed by American Megatrend for Intel x86-based computers using the Microsoft Windows operating system to provide a dual operating system environment in which the user can simultaneously deploy the Android operating system in tandem with Microsoft Windows. Because DuosM has capability to run both Windows and Android operating systems at the same time, the user can switch between the two operating systems without having to dual boot or suspend operation of one operating system in order to utilize the other. DuosM supports key hardware peripherals in Windows including cameras, audio, microphone and sensors such as ambient light sensor, accelerometer, gyrometer, compass and orientation sensors. It also supports various screen sizes, resolutions, and screen orientation, portrait and landscape, along with 3D acceleration and HD video playback. The first version of DuosM was released in June 2014. The software is available for download for a free 30-day trial, and is available for purchase for a complete license. Technical problems. On November 13, 1993, a number of PCs that used the AMIBIOS firmware started at boot up to play the tune to Happy Birthday repeatedly while halting the computer until a key was pressed. The problem was resolved with a Trojan-free firmware upgrade from most manufacturers. The AMIBIOS was a 1994 update to AMIBIOS, with a graphical user interface setup screen that mimicked the appearance of Windows 3.1 and supported mouse navigation. Unusual at the time, WinBIOS was viewed favorably by Anand Lal Shimpi at AnandTech, but described by Thomas Pabst at Tom's Hardware as a big disappointment, in part because of problems with distributing IRQ signals to every PCI and ISA expansion slot. In July 2008, Linux developers discovered issues with ACPI tables on certain AMIBIOS BIOSes supplied by Foxconn, ASUS, and MSI. The problem is related to the ACPI_OSI method. which is used by ACPI to determine the OS version. In case an ACPI patch only applies to one specific OS. In some cases, the OSI method caused problems on Linux systems, skipping code that was only executed on Windows systems. Foxconn and AMI worked together to develop a solution, which was included in later revisions of AMIBIOS. The issue affected motherboards with Intel Socket 775. Actual system behavior differed based on BIOS version, system hardware and Linux distribution. Founding. American Megatrends Inc. AMI was founded in 1985 by Subramonian, Shankar and Pat Sarma with funds from a previous consulting venture. Access Methods Inc. Also AMI. Access Methods was a company run by Pat Sarma and his partner. After Access Methods successfully launched the AMIBIOS, there were legal issues among the owners of the company, resulting in Sarma buying out his partners. Access Methods still owned the rights to the AMIBIOS. Sarma had already started a company called Quintessential Consultants Inc. QCI, and later set up an equal partnership with Shankar. By this time the AMIBIOS had become established and there was a need to keep the initials AMI. The partners renamed QCI as American Megatrends Inc., with the same initials as Access Methods Inc. The renamed company then purchased AMIBIOS from Access Methods. Shankar became the president and Sarma the executive vice president of this company. This partnership continued until 2001, when LSI Logic purchased the RAID division of American Megatrends. American Megatrends then purchased all shares of the company owned by Sarma, making Shankar the majority owner. Worldwide offices. United States. Headquarters. Gwinnett County, Georgia. Field offices. San Jose, California. Austin, Texas. Beijing, People's Republic of China. Kunshan, Jiangsu, People's Republic of China. Shenzhen, Guangdong, People's Republic of China. Taipei, Taiwan. Munich, Germany. Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Chiyoda, Tokyo, Japan. Seoul, South Korea. Formerly had an office in DuPont, Washington, United States. See also. BIOS features comparison. Phoenix Technologies. List of companies of Taiwan. References. Further reading. American Megatrends, Inc. 1993. Programmer's Guide to the AMIBIOS. Windcrest, McGraw-Hill. ISBN 0-07-001562-7. American Megatrends Inc. 1994. Programming AMIBIOS. McGraw-Hill Ryerson. Limited. ISBN 0-07-001561-9. External links. American Megatrends Inc. USA. Company Profile. Introduction to AMIBIOS 8. Overview of key features in the latest AMIBIOS.